Hey, what is up guys? Flex Media here, bringing you yet another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Alright, so, just in case you have been living under a rock for the last, 24 hours or so, or, I mean, straight up, if you haven't opened up the game in a while, or whatever, maybe you saw that this guy who's been sitting in your box forever is getting an EZA. Now, obviously, we don't have that information yet of what exactly he's going to be like. But I think, I don't know. There's a few different things they could do with him. I kind of just want to go over, like, I think what could be like a realistic expectation to, you know, something to expect from his EZA, because I think with just a few tweaks, I mean, he could be insanely good, you know, at a minimum, and insanely busted at a maximum. So I kind of just want to go over, you know, maybe somewhere in between of where I think he'll land. I certainly hope they learned from their AGL Super Vegito debacle. That was a straight boondoggle, man. I mean, they really dropped the ball. Everyone expected him to be the best TUR in the game, and they easily could have made him that, but they just didn't. For whatever reason, they really held back. So anyway, guys, let's kind of go over them real quick. So number one, you can see here, February 25th, 2020. So just a short week or so, depending on when you watch this video, away. I imagine you'd be watching it sometime between now and then. So let's kind of go over what he is now and where I think they could improve him. So leader skill is pretty obvious. So, super class key 3, and then 50% to stats currently. Now, I think this one's pretty simple. All you need to do is you can do one of two things. Key 3, 120 to stats, or you do key 4, 100 to stats. I for whatever reason, I don't know what's telling me this, but I feel like it's going to be the first one. So, key 3 and 120. Considering what they did to the EZA Zamasu, they made him key 4 and 100. I think they'll make Fizz Vegito Blue and AGL Rose key 3 and 120. So, that's pretty simple. His super attack, so the final Kamehameha, this is where I think we could have some fun. And if they do what I say they're going to do right here, I think he all of a sudden becomes this amazingly fun card to use. And yes, this is a collector's game, of course. You know, it's a virtual card game, essentially. But we also want to have fun when we're playing the game, and I think that this would make it fun. So he's going to cause immense damage to the enemy. He's going to raise defense, so an infinite stack of defense. So raise defense, pause, raise attack for 1 turn. So what does this mean? So, kind of skipping ahead a little bit to his passive, so he can potentially do up to 4 super attacks. So we'll go over it in a minute. So if you do the first attack, super attack, bam, raised his attack. Second super attack, bam, super attack. So that second super attack is going to be even more powerful, and then the third will be even more powerful, and then of course the fourth will even be more powerful. So I think that would be a really cool mechanic if they did that. And then that way, he's not just completely insanely stacking his attack, you know, like a madman, right? Because what I think they're going to have to do to his passive, they're going to have to do some things to his passive. So that's where I'm going with his super attack. I think that would make him a very fun card to use. And then, of course, defensively, he would just be an absolute beast, right? And that's okay. You know, we need defensive beasts in the game, and that would provide him a distinct advantage over the other Vegito Blues in the game. So the Tech and the LR STR. So, but anyway, his passive skill. This is where it can really get interesting. So I think let's go over it right now. So he's got a great chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks, each of which has a chance to become a super attack, damage received from normal attacks minus 30%, and counter with tremendous power. All right, so the great chance. So number one, you might notice there's no mention of attack or defense or anything, because guess what? He doesn't have it. You know, the attack stats you see from him are from leader skill and links. He's got nothing in his passive that adds any attack or defense to him other than the 30% damage reductions on normal. So this is what I think you do. And remembering the vernacular of the game, right, that I've talked about in my last few videos. So a great chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks. A great chance is a 70% chance in Dokkan. So I think that is okay. Great chance to launch up to 2. Now, we'll see down here, if you go down, the first one is guaranteed. So 70% chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks. First one is guaranteed. And then a chance is a 10% chance to become a super attack. So what I think you do, straight up, I think first of all, we need to get him an attack and defensive buff. And we're going to make this a start of turn defensive buff. Because I think it's the only way that it works. I think it's the only way it works with the counter mechanic. You know, and considering what I said with his super attack, I think that this is how you have to do it. So he gets this attack and defensive buff. Or if you have him infinitely stacked defense, I guess technically you wouldn't need him to have a 50% attack buff, or you could make him get it on super attack. So it would be similar to like Fizz DBZ Broly, where he doesn't get his passive to kick in until he supers. I guess you could make it on attack, but I just tend to prefer start of attack, or I'm sorry, start of turn buffs. So I'm going to say start of turn, attack and defense 50%. Pretty simple. You don't need a ton of attack to make this dude hit like a fucking monster truck. Just like a supernova. And we'll go over why in a minute. And a great chance is okay. Great chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks, each of which has a high chance to become a super attack. So that would now increase, instead of a 10% chance to become a super attack, he then gets a 50% chance to super attack. That would make him really, really good, and again, really fun to run. Now you could potentially, so basically what that means is he would be doing a minimum of 2 attacks. The first, his original super attack, and then his guaranteed additional attack, right? And then he could also launch that other additional attack, and then he could do that hidden potential super attack. So there you go. That's what I was talking about earlier, how he could get potentially 4 super attacks. So, and then you can go ahead and just keep damage received from normal attacks 30%, well, minus 30%, and counter with tremendous power. So they seem to be really, really afraid of giving these counter units too much attack, because what happens is, what would happen, so basically, is, I'll give you a situation. So, if he were to super attack 4 times, and he raised his attack he raised his attack for 1 turn in my sort of EZA, what happens is he counters, and he's gonna like one-shot you, unless you're Legendary Goku or something like that. So he's gonna one-shot you for sure. And even if he's taking a little bit more damage on normals, it's not gonna matter, because he's raised his attack 4 times. So this kind of way, I think. Here's the thing, though. I think he's still vulnerable on super attacks. So I think that still makes him balanced in a way, right? So I think it's just a way where, yes, you can make him slightly broken, but also he's still vulnerable, because he's only got that 50% defensive buff, and he's only getting the damage reduction minus 30% on normals. So, and then of course the countering with tremendous power. So I hope I conveyed that right, where if you stack his attack 4 times and then he's attacked, then he's gonna just do insane, crazy damage. His APT will be through the fucking roof, right? So, you know, I guess another thing you could do is you could just not give him a passive and make him kind of like Tech Vegito Blue. But again, you're not really providing any distinct advantage over running Tech Vegito Blue. At that point, just run Tech Vegito Blue, right? So, I think that anyway, guys, let's kind of go over some more things. So we know his links. This is what makes, you know, a part of him that makes him so effing good is his link set. So he's got Prepared for Battle, Fused Fighter, Over in a Flash. Really, really nice links, right? He's on some really, really nice categories as well. Let's go to his EZA stats. 12 key multiplier, 150 is very good. If he evades, he counters as well. So that's going to be his attack stat, 19,136. So that's why you don't need to give him a huge offensive buff. And even his defense is not too shabby at 10,194. Not too shabby. I mean, it's no Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but with a damage reduction of 30% on normals, I mean, clearly he's not going to be taking any damage on normals. I mean, short of maybe like STRU at Goku in the Legendary Goku event. So this is kind of my final sort of word on it. So let's kind of just to recap. We see his current stuff here. My EZA, Superclass, Key 3, 120 to stats, causes immense damage to enemy, and raises defense, and raises attack for 1 turn. His passive skill, attack and defense 50% at the start of turn. Great chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks, and a high chance to become super attacks. Damage received from normals minus 30%, and of course the counter with tremendous power. So this is just kind of something quick and something I think that's realistic. Maybe raising attack isn't in the cards for this guy, but boy, oh boy, wouldn't that make him so fun to use. I mean, we want broken cards. That's what we want, right? I just don't think Dokkan wants too broken of cards, because then we won't summon for cards in the future. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you would do to this guy, because truly the sky's the limit. These counter units have so much damn potential. But slap a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing if you're new. I'm bringing you guys content every single day. And guys, I am closing in on 100 subs on the channel, which is a huge milestone. It might not seem like anything now, but you know, in a year from now, or in, you know, 6 months from now, if we've got 1,000, I mean, it just, you know, again, the channel, the sky's the limit, right? So I'm really excited, and I really appreciate all of your guys' support. So if you want to come be part of the Dokkan community, sub to your boy. I've got something special coming for the 100 sub mark, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Later.